What's up, boys and gents? What? No.
We have female viewers too, man. Okay, we also have female viewers.
Welcome
Golly.
back,
We don't wanna
Knockouts on the
deter
Run.
them.
We're talking about the NFC South today. As you can see, I got my Tampa gear on. No, I'm not a BUCS fan. Okay, I'm so sick of people saying I like them and I like them. No, I support teams. I live in Florida. Tampa's my hometown team. Tampa's literally less than an hour from us, and I've been to many Tampa games.
Many. We're gonna go to many more.
Yeah,
It's a great stadium, bro.
Great stadium, beautiful stadium. I love that they have actual grass and they actually grow that grass every single year, which is
I just went to a game last night, last
beautiful.
preseason game against Bills.
You saw
Stadium's
Shiloh's
great.
last ever game.
Yeah, because he wants to lose his cool and try to drop a man on the football field with his fist.
So we're talking about the NFC South today. I'm gonna let this Eagle kick us off and see what he has to say about the Tampa Bay Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, and the dumpster fire Saints. Go on.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk about first is the last place team, and that is going to be the New Orleans Saints with a record of 2-15. Okay, they're going to win 2 games the entire season. They probably won't be that bad. Okay, their over/under win total I believe is 4.5. Okay, but either way, they're going to start 0-10. This team is so bad, man. Like, they're just in such a big transition. Their biggest piece is an old running back in Alvin Kamara, who's still good. Okay, I still think Alvin Kamara is good. I'm a huge fan. But like I said, they're going to start 0-10, and then they're going to win 1 game on the road and 1 game at home. So they're going to get a win in the Superdome, and they're also going to beat Atlanta. Okay, so they are going to beat a division team and a very, very good and strong division team. Continue listening, and you're going to see where I think Atlanta finishes. They're going to be very improved. I think Atlanta's going to be very, very improved.
This fool.
Okay.
No, this fool. Go on.
Fool. You're about to see. All right. But Saints transition year. I am scared with Chris Olave. I have him in a dynasty league.
How do you feel about Kellen Moore
scared.
being an Eagles fan?
Great offensive coordinator.
Do you think he made a mistake, though?
Yes. He should have stayed with the Eagles. You just won the Super Bowl. You just had a 2,000-yard rusher in Saquon Barkley. Like, come on, dude. You have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, and now you have Chris Olave,
For
Alvin
your fantasy
Kamara,
watchers out
Tyler
there,
Shuck.
that's good because he just came from Saquon. He's going to Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, no, Kamara's going to be a beast. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You made a good point right there.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Kamara in Kellen Moore's system is going to be nuts. Wow.
He's still a trade deadline target for me,
Yes,
but
yes.
I think for the first few weeks, you guys are going to get some high value from him. Probably look into trading him, but I'll let go on after that.
All right, so then that's going to take me to my third place team. All right, I don't really have anything else to say about the Panthers. I'm sorry. I don't really have anything else to say about the Saints. And my third place team is going to be the Panthers, okay? I have the Panthers finishing 7-10, okay? Their first win of the season is going to come in week 3. So they're not going to go through some tough stretch like they did the last couple years where they're just going like the whole first month of the season without winning a game. No, they're going to win week 3 in Carolina against Atlanta. So Atlanta's going to crap the bed against some of these lesser division rivals. Okay, it's a young team. Michael Penix, he's only started 3 games last year.
Bryce Young. Michael Penix is on the Panthers.
It's on Atlanta. I'm talking about Atlanta, though.
Oh, you are?
Because I just said, no, I am talking about the Panthers.
Oh.
I'm talking about the Panthers.
My bad.
But the Panthers' first win of the season is going to be against Atlanta.
Okay.
And I said
Michael
how the
Penix,
Saints
Michael
are
Penix,
also
Michael
going
Penix,
to
yes.
beat Atlanta.
Okay.
So Michael Penix, he's going to crap the bed against these lower division rivals that aren't really on their level.
Yeah, Kirk O'Chain's time, baby.
No Kirk O'Chains. He's done. I'm sorry. After you tear your Achilles and hurt your throwing shoulder and you're a quarterback, it's not good. So after the 1-2 start for the Panthers, they will be 3-4 going in to the Week 8 bye. All right, or going into Week 8. They don't have a bye Week 8. I'm sorry. So going into Week 8, they're going to be 3-4. So at that halfway point of the season, they're going to be 3-4 after starting 1-2. That's pretty good. All right, they are a very much improved team. All right, they have Ted McMillan. They signed J.C. Horn. J.C. Horn, I think, is top 5, top 3 cornerback
Tremble too.
in
Great tight end.
the league. Yeah, Tremble is a great tight end. The receivers aren't bad. Okay, Xavier Leggett is good, is athletic, but I think Adam Thielen's going to be better.
You should call him to your house to take care of your
My raccoon
problem.
issue.
He eats raccoons.
Yeah, he's going to have an all-you-can-eat buffet for probably the first 8 weeks of the season. And then after that, after week 8, when they're 3-4, they're going to go into a rough stretch. All right, a very, very rough stretch where they play a lot of playoff teams for a few weeks. And they're going to be 4-9 after that stretch. But, okay, after week 14, when they're 4-9, they are going to win 3 in a row. All right, they're going to beat New Orleans in New Orleans, so they're going to get their revenge there. Then they're going to beat Tampa at home, and they're going to defend their home turf against Seattle that's coming across from the other coast. So, yes, the Panthers have an up-and-down season, but it's very much improved. They have 7 wins. Last year, I believe they only had 6 wins. Okay, 5 wins, something like that. But they're gonna be very much improved. Dave Canales is a very good coach. Okay, he's coming from the BUCS 2 years ago. All right, Dave Canales and Liam Cohen were the same system. They were both offensive coordinators for the BUCS. Now Dave Canales is the coach for the Panthers. And I think the Panthers are going to have a very improved offense. Tet McMillan, I think he's a very, very, very good receiver. And he's going to be an alpha. And I honestly think he finishes top 24 in fantasy. That's going to be one of my bold fantasy predictions. Him, Pop Douglas are both going to be top 24 this year in fantasy football.
Oh, yeah.
You think both of them?
I appreciate that because I have a draft in a few hours here. So
top 24 means wide receiver 2.
I know.
I think both of them can be wide receiver 2.
Demario Douglas is currently wide receiver 2 right now. He could be wide receiver 1 in week 1 if Stephon Diggs does not suit up, and that's a high chance of that happening.
Yeah?
Yeah, so Demario Douglas is looking like, and he's playing Las Vegas too. I think Demario's in for a big week 1, bro.
Okay, I like that. I really like that.
And
I really like that.
Tate is playing the Jags, the first week of the season. So that's all.
Tet for the Panthers?
Yeah, he's playing the Jags, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he is playing
That's
the Jags.
pretty, yeah,
in Jacksonville.
Yeah, so Travis Hunter, he may be feeling it. That's his first game. That's his first NFL game. I don't know how good he's gonna.
I got a point to make on that in the next episode.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah, we're talking about the Southern teams today. So now I'm gonna talk about third place team, our very own local Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You mean second place?
Second place team. I apologize. Now we're talking about my second place team.
Oh,
the Buccaneers. All right, the Buccaneers are gonna be second place. They're gonna be 9-8. Okay. And the reason for this is because I think they're going to be battling injuries throughout the season.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. They are going to be a great team, and I have them making the playoffs. All right? They're going to start 1-0 and beating Atlanta. In Atlanta. Okay? So they're going to start the season very hot, and I could be wrong about this, and they could put them on a stretch because then they play Houston. All right? And they're going to lose to Houston, so that's going to put them 1-1. They have 2 road games in a row. Week 1 against Atlanta and week 2 against Houston. I have them splitting those games, winning week 1 against Atlanta and then losing week 2 at Houston. All right. This mediocrity and competitiveness is going to continue. All right. As they will be 4-4 going into their week 9 bye. So going into their bye week, they're going to be 4-4. They're a very competitive team. All right. And they're going to be able to put up points. That offense is going to be top 10. All right. That offense is 100% going to be top 10. Yes, it's their 3rd year in a row where Baker has a new offensive coordinator. That doesn't matter, okay? Because the last 2 years, Baker has had a new offensive coordinator, and it's coming from the same Dave Canales, Liam Cohen system, all right? He is going to be fine. He threw for 4,500 yards last year, okay? And 41 touchdowns. You know there's only one quarterback that had more touchdowns than him? Do you know who that was?
Jameis Winston.
And more touchdowns in the entire season? In the whole season last year.
Last year?
Who do you think had more touchdowns than Baker Mayfield? I almost just said his name.
I feel like I know his name.
You do know who it is.
Jalen Hurts?
No, the only one who had more passing touchdowns was Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow was the only quarterback to have more passing touchdowns.
My hopeful number 1 pick tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
First round?
Bro, it's a super flex league. Yes. First
round. Yeah, that'd be a good one. You're right about that. So after that bye, they will be 5-4. They're gonna finish the season, the last 9 weeks of the season, 5-4. So after their Week 9 bye. They will win 5 games and lose 4 games remaining this season. Okay, having two two-game win streaks. Okay, so in that 5-4 stretch, they're gonna have 2 stretches where they win back-to-back games. All right, one of them being the last 2 games of the season at Miami and versus Carolina. So they're gonna finish the season winning 2 games in a row at Miami and versus Carolina.
Just like that.
This, like I said, this team will have a top 10 offense, and especially at the end of the season when they get Godwin back, man. When they get Godwin back and then Evans is chasing another 1,000-yard year, they are absolutely going to be rolling by the end of that season. And it's going to be very, very, very tough outing when you go against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They also have all 11 starters returning on their roster this season from last year's offense. So last year's offense that produced 41 passing touchdowns and 4,500 yards is back on the field. That's crazy, man.
That's important.
Yeah, that's very important.
Well,
They have
new coordinator,
every single
that's important.
and their first round pick was a wide receiver in Emeka Ibuka. Yeah, Ibuka. I just butchered his name. What did I just say? But either way, I had the Bucs being a very competitive team. Y'all are gonna make the playoffs, but 9-8 just because Levante David, I think he's gonna be balling, but it's his last season. He's old. Vita Vea, he's always injured. You know what I mean? They just lost Carlton Davis. Okay. They did lose their offensive coordinator, so it may take a little bit of time, but they're still going to be rolling. And Godwin doesn't come back till the end of the year. Like I said, they finished the season on a 2-game winning streak. They are going to be 5-4 the last 9 weeks of the season, 9-8 for the Buccaneers.
Okay. Well, let's see. Falcons, what do you got?
All right. The Falcons, I got them going 13-4. Okay, they're gonna have 13 wins. They will be 2-2 going into week 4. Like I said, 0-1. Okay, because they're gonna lose to the Bucs. They will get their revenge later on that season, but after that bye week, they will go on a 6-game winning streak. They're gonna win 6 games in a row. Is there week 5 bye? Is that what it says? Where's that bye week?
Week 5.
Yep.
You're saying that they're going to beat the Patriots, bruh?
I am saying they're going to beat because y'all are going to be hot. Y'all are 12-5, so I think that's a game where
in New England in the middle of the season. No, you're fucking.
I do. I'm sorry, I do. It is actually kind of crazy now that I think about Mike Vrabel's defense against Michael Penix is kind of a rookie quarterback because he hasn't started 18 games yet or 17 games yet.
Go on.
And after that 6-win streak, and then it gets broken, they're going to go on and win 3 more. Okay, so that puts them at 9-1 through 10 weeks. Okay, then after that 9-1 stretch, they're obviously going to be 9-2, and they're going to win 2 more games to end the season, making them 11-2 over the last 13 weeks of the season.
Goodness.
So after their week 5 bye, they are going to be 11-2 after their week 5 bye. After this team comes out of the bye, I think they're gonna. Dude, that offense is nuclear. Like, that offense can attack you from every spot of the field. Drake London,
not tight
at
end.
receiver. Kyle Pitts is gonna have a good year. I think Kyle Pitts has a big year. I'm still believing on him.
No.
Okay.
Don't draft him.
I already got him in Dynasty.
You'll make another.
Okay. But I got him.
You'll make
and
another
Sam
Travis Etienne.
But that's at tight end, so it's not as detrimental.
Oh my God.
But Kyle Pitts, Drake London. If Mooney's healthy, Darnell Mooney is great.
Darnell Mooney.
Okay.
I love
If
Mooney.
Darnell Mooney isn't healthy, Ray McLeod.
Yeah.
Come on now. Jinx, you owe me a liquid death. Okay? We're not sponsored, but we do endorse them. Liquid death. Most hydrating H2O. Okay? On planet Earth. Either way,
Shut up.
like I said, this offense, Bijan Robinson is the best player on offense. I didn't even mention him. And to put all that in perspective, limited Kirk Cousins doesn't limit this offense anymore. Okay, we have Michael Penix who can now run the ball, and you can call a bootleg for him.
13-4.
You can now call mobile passes in that offense. Falcons win this division 13-4. All right, they're gonna be rolling. They're gonna be really, really good. All right,
Ready?
All right, Seb. Let's
So-
hear your season predictions for
Well,
this AFC South.
my last place team is kind of obvious. I got the New Orleans Saints being 5-12.
Shocker.
The Saints began the season with a substantial negative cap space of roughly $83 million. Okay, so they weren't able to improve their team that much. They also signed Kellen Moore off the Eagles, which I don't know why Kellen Moore took that dump into, or I'm sorry, that like dive into this heat of a dumpster fire. Okay, so they were in. This placed them in a financial position, the worst financial position in the league history. Actually, they signed Brandon Cooks, they signed Justin Reed, and they re-signed Chase Young. That is all they did to improve this team. They didn't do
And
anything for offense.
Tyrann Mathieu also retired.
Yeah,
That says
I
something.
forgot about that part. So not much improvement. Chris Olave is a concussion away from a retirement.
Don't say that.
He is, bro. He almost had to retire last year. He was on my fantasy team. That's
He'll be
how I
alright.
know all of this. Who will be the quarterback? That's also another question. Well, they have to trade for a quarterback besides Spencer Rattler. I would not put my fate in him. And then Tyler Slough, which I don't...
Shock.
Or Shuck? That's what it is? Tyler Shuck? Okay, so Tyler
No,
Shuck.
It looks like Slough, but it's Shock. Trust me, when I heard it, I was like, thank God I heard that, because I would not have said...
So Tyler Shuck also, I guess. That's how you know that he's not going to be that good, because his name is spelled differently than it's pronounced. Anyways,
Your name's not phonetically correct, therefore stink.
yeah.
You stink.
New coach in Kellen Moore, no idea why he left the Eagles again. Saints are in a decline. I think they have a lot of figuring out to do. They're going to be in the Arch Manning sweepstakes, and they're going for picks this year. Alvin Kamara will be a trade deadline target. That is someone that teams will be calling about, and the Saints will consider moving him for picks and draft capital. Cap space capital as well for next offseason. So, again, Saints are not going to be, they're just overall going to be horrible, and they're going to be searching for answers all season. So the Saints, they have a fairly easy schedule, but with how they are, they're going to lose to Arizona, lose to San Fran, lose to Seattle, lose to the Bills. They're starting the season off 0-4. They're going to beat the Giants.
I said 0-10.
They're going to beat the Giants because it's at home. They're going to lose to the Patriots, the Bears, Bucks, Rams, beat the Panthers, and it's just they're going to finish the season 1-5. So, I'm sorry, you New Orleans Saints fans.
So their last 6 weeks, they go 1-5.
Brighter days ahead, yes. To my third place team, which much improved. I have high hopes for Carolina going back to the old Carolina days, but I have them being 6-11. And the Panthers' defense in 2024 was historically bad, finishing last in the NFL in multiple categories, including total defense, 404.5 yards allowed per game.
Are you serious?
Yes. Run defense was allowing 179.8 yards per game.
Oh my God.
Scoring defense, 31.4 points allowed per game.
Oh my God.
And third down defense, 50.2% conversion rate allowed.
Smokes, bro.
They're big. Yeah.
179. That's 180 yards a game.
They were horrible. Okay, their biggest signings this year, EJ had touched on it earlier, were J.C. Horn. I also like the signing of Bobby Brown and Tommy Tremble, which I'm really high on. He's a fantasy sleeper as well. They're a sneaky
you love
team.
yourself some Tommy Tremble. Huh?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Are you gonna draft him, or is he a waiver wire pickup?
He's a waiver wire pickup
Okay,
right
okay.
now, but I just think he might. I mean, he's gonna sneak into that top 25 tight end category.
You know
so.
I got him in Dynasty, so
Yeah, I
you
know.
Can, you can hit me up.
Shut up. Nope. Travion Henderson. That's who I want from you.
Oh, I got
But
Drake May also, so we can work some out. You got some studs. You got Caleb Williams, man. I've been asking you for him. I believe in him. I know you don't.
I'll see.
But go on. We're talking about Dynasty South.
Ben Johnson's offense, I think he's gonna do good on there. But sneaky team, super young, new coaching, new feeling in Carolina. There's a lot of high hope for them to be who they used to be a long time ago. And this will be a stepping up year for them. So nothing too shabby. I think they're going to have a lot of momentum from the games that they do win.
Yes.
So, like I said, Panthers will be pretty good this year. They're gonna start the season off 1-0 versus the Jags. I think Liam Cohen, Mr. Duval, is going to lose to his former colleague, or
Yeah.
not former colleague,
No,
but former Tampa Bay offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Liam
And
Cohen
then-
worked under Dave Canales.
And then they're gonna go on a three-game losing streak: Arizona, Atlanta, and the Patriots. Then they're gonna win versus the Dolphins, lose to Dallas, beat the Jets, lose to the Bills, lose, win. And they're actually going to go on a losing streak of 5 games from Week 10 to Week 15. Close out the season 2-1, beating Tampa Bay in Carolina, then losing to them in Tampa Bay to close out the season.
I have the same thing. I literally have the same thing with the Tampa games. I think they lose last game of the season. I think they win that first game.
My second place team, I got the Atlanta Falcons being 10-7. A team that is mid at best. I think they're a really mid team. I love the receiving core of this team, however. Mooney, Drake, London, one of the greatest combos in the NFL right now. Not to mention Ray Ray's there as well. But Kyle Pitts, man, if you can't get it going, time to cut your losses and trade him at the trade deadline. Another trade deadline target that I would put out there. Bijan is the engine of this offense.
Would you say Chris Godwin is a trade deadline target? Or
No.
Because they just
No,
signed him.
I have a reason for that.
Okay.
So cut your losses with Kyle Pitts, guys. I don't think it's just not. They're just not it for you. Bijan is the engine of this offense. Like I said, his Tyler Algier is also great. I mean, you could use that as a 1-2 punch. You could split the carries 80-20, 70-30, but no more than that because you want Bijan on the field. Penix will have a tough year. I think there's film on him just like Jane Daniels, just like Drake May. There's film on these guys now.
It's only 3 weeks worth of film.
I know, but I think Penix is predictable with who he has on this offense. Now, Cousins is his all-out backup, another trade deadline target. I think the Falcons end up moving him out of Atlanta at the end of the year because teams like the Saints will be in need of a quarterback. The Falcons could help,
But the Saints are in cap hell. They're not getting Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins,
But if someone might get hurt.
That's what I mean. There's also other teams like the Giants or who I know the Giants look good.
Giants, yeah,
Jackson
they're good
Dart
at QB.
looks good. So I think
Okay, if you're a team and your starting quarterback gets hurt, do you want Jameis Winston or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins
Over Jameis.
Yeah,
Considering the contract.
I don't think they're gonna move on from Jameis down in New York. So, but anyways, Kirk Cousins as your all-out backup quarterback could hurt your team or help your team. Defense, pretty nasty. AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates in that secondary. Add to that Jordan Fuller as well. This team is a sleeper to win the division only if the BUCS get hurt, which is I'm happy you mentioned that you think they're going to be hurt. If the BUCS do start having injuries, the Falcons will win the division.
Okay.
Both teams will make the playoffs, however. I think the Falcons are a much improved team, and I love their coaching staff as well. This will take you to my winning team of the AFC or the NFC South because I do believe the BUCS stay healthy. They've had their injury spill already in the offseason. The BUCS will be 12-5 this year.
Woo! 12-5.
12-5.
Holy smokes!
So amazing draft.
I said 9-8.
The BUCS killed it in the draft this year. They drafted exactly what they needed, and that receiver from Ohio State is currently wide receiver 2 because of Jalen McMillan hurting his neck.
Yep.
And Chris Godwin will not be allowed to practice until week 2. They hope to have him back until mid-October. Now, here's a question for you. How forced are you to bring him back if Igbukba is doing good? How forced are you to bring back
By the
Chris
end
Godwin?
of the season, we need to be able to pronounce his name correctly.
Yeah. Igbukba.
Yeah. Good stuff, man.
Igbukba.
You heard that.
Igbukba.
That's some quality production right there.
Igbukba is currently wide receiver 2. And how forced will you be, as a Tampa fan, how forced will you be to bring back Chris Godwin if he's putting up numbers with Evans? I'd keep him out to the end of the season, have him fresh for the playoffs, honestly. That's what I would do. So, I think you keep out Chris Godwin at least till mid-October, if not more. The Bucks have a powerful offense, man. I think they're a top 7 offense if healthy. Defense could be manageable. They could also hurt them as well. We've seen it happen in the past. Hassan Reddick will be a extra power push next to Levante David. That's going to be scary for opposing quarterbacks. For my boy Drake May and Will Campbell, that's going to be something that I don't want to see happen. Yeah. Tez Johnson is also a sneaky receiver out there as well. For my fantasy sleeper guys, Tez Johnson for the first few weeks has some high value. You got a lot of injuries in that quarter, so he'll feel.
I'm very disappointed I didn't take a video of his touchdown last.
Because he did.
It happened right in front of me, bro.
He did.
It happened in my end zone.
The
backflip.
Did that flip, yeah.
He did a cartwheel backflip. I was like, damn.
So again, I think Chris Godwin's uncertainty is it's gonna determine the starting lineup with these receivers. They have depth at the receiver spot, but without injuries, I think Tampa Bay Bucks are a top 5 team in the NFC this year.
Damn. Well, they better be top 5. They're gonna win. They're gonna be if they win the division. I mean, I guess you have divisions with.
They could be top 4 now. Yeah. The Bucks range could be from 8 wins to 12 wins because of the injury factors. Now, they don't play on turf, so this will help them. But they do have to play on turf 6 times a year because of their division. The Saints have turf, if I'm not mistaken. Panthers have turf, if I'm not mistaken. And the Falcons also have turf as well.
I've seen one of them.
So
2
injuries
domes and the Panthers can't grow grass.
Injuries might be sneaking up on the Bucks, but I do have them being 12-5. I love Baker Mayfield. There was a point in time when this dude right here thought he was one of the worst quarterbacks in the league.
I did think that before he came to Tampa, and we would had some heated arguments.
Proved him wrong about it because
he has a huge man crush on Baker Mayfield.
I do. I love Baker Mayfield. He is the Johnny Manziel.
I ain't crushing on him.
He is the Johnny Manziel that succeeded in the NFL.
Yeah,
that is literally who he is.
Well, he tightened up and got disciplined.
Yeah,
Johnny Manziel didn't do that. Okay, he kept drinking that liquid death.
Baker Mayfield
courage.
is the picture of what Johnny Manziel could have been in the NFL. Even I think Johnny would have been a lot better.
He'd have been more agile, and explosive. But that's our NFC South. I would have actually. No, I'm not going to. I was gonna say maybe make a bet on do Bucks have over or under 10 wins because I have them at 9 wins and you have them.
We already have a bet going and that's sticking.
Yeah, no, it should stick. I'm saying we could double down.
Do you want to double down?
No, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't. I went to the Bucks game like I said last night. The energy is. They're confident.
It feels
in their
good.
Team. Yeah, they're confident in their team.
I work with 2 Tampa fans. One's a season ticket holder. The other one's a super fan. Look, the energy around Tampa Bay feels like
that BUCS pick was huge.
This team could make it far.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Super Bowl, but don't count them out.
No, they could.
Count them out.
They could be playing in an NFC Championship game.
I think they will.
I expect them to win a playoff game for sure. And they also added Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick
isn't a juke.
He's gonna have a big game versus the Eagles this year.
Yeah, I know. I just hope Lane Johnson comes out healthy. That's all I hope.
So that's our NFC South predictions. Let us know what you guys think.
I got the Falcons winning. I got
Tampa Bay.
Yup, Buccaneers.
So we'll see what happens. Ha! Shit!